Hi, I'm Jay Luck, Master Hypnotist Trainer for Apple Valley Hypnosis and Wisconsin Hypnosis Center. In a moment, you're going to see videos of people talking about how they felt before and after they did hypnosis. And I got to tell you, it's going to seem like magic, but we teach people how to change their mindset, how to change what's going on in their subconscious mind. And so when they make those changes, it's pretty awesome. In fact, it feels magical. Enjoy the videos.
If you're worried about whether this is going to work for you or not, I would say stop worrying. And I would say this is going to be the best investment you have or you've ever made in your life. And it comes with a guarantee. I mean, you're not going to be on your own. If you're struggling, you have help, you have support, and accountability too. That's another big thing too. You have someone to be accountable to besides yourself. The guarantee was definitely the one thing that kind of helped make my decision for me, knowing that, you know, if I needed anything, that I would have that extra help.
First, taking a break from cooking to talk with Jay from Wisconsin Hypnosis Center. And today we're going to take it back to the basics and kind of explain what hypnosis is and how it might be able to help you. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning.
So good to see you.
And you too.
Yeah, let's just jump right into it because I think there's a lot of myths. And I think I remember in college, you know, they'd have the hypnotist come to town to do a show. And it was more of just a funny kind of thing.
Did you volunteer?
I did not, but I had friends who did for sure. They did some crazy stuff. But today we're really kind of, you know, get into let's start with what is hypnosis.
Sure. Well, it is a way to get into your subconscious mind and change patterns, habits, beliefs, values that get in your way to get goals. And when you think about, we're hypnotized twice a day. People don't realize that. When you wake up in the morning and when you go to sleep at night, when you're on the edge of both of those, that's a hypnotic state. And so it's very easy to get into it. And what we do is we help people design how to change those bad habits to good habits, and hypnosis is a wonderful technique to do that.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the things that you can help with because we all have bad habits. So let's jump into, you know, who you're helping and why.
Well, it's pretty much anybody. I should say that first of all. But when I do, for instance, when I did stage shows, speaking of stage shows, there's three kinds of people that can't be hypnotized: someone who's drunk, someone who's stupid, someone who does not want to be. So taking that into consideration, now stupid actually has a clinical definition, an IQ less than 70. Now, as far as who we help, it's pretty much anybody who feels stuck with any bad habits, patterns, or beliefs that get in their way. So the common things would be weight loss or smoking or stress, anxiety, sports improvement, confidence, pain management. Those are the kinds of things that are the most common, and we help people from everyday life solve those things.
Let's talk about the results because I know that they're pretty amazing.
Yes, yeah. Well, we've been in business, this is our fourth decade now. We just started our 40th year. And we've helped over 10,000 people with all these things I just mentioned. We have testimonials from all of those people proving that it works. And we do a screening process just to make sure someone's the right match for it, because not everybody is. But when you're a good match, it works amazingly fast.
And does it last? I guess, is it a permanent thing or is it temporary?
No, as a matter of fact, it does last. For most people, it becomes a lifetime change in how they process their thinking to get goals. So they may come for weight loss, but they end up learning all kinds of things that work beyond weight loss to change how they see life and how they make decisions to get goals.
Let's just give an example or two of some success stories.
Well, I'll just mention Sandy. It's one of my favorites to talk about. I've been trying to get her to come on the show. She's a little shy about that, but Sandy was overweight, 100 pounds for 40 years.
Okay.
Didn't think she could change anything.
Right.
And Sandy's not a dummy.
Right.
Very smart person, very intelligent person. And what she discovered is when she got out of her way overanalyzing everything, she got the goal. She's now had that weight off for 3 years.
Wow.
And now we're having discussions about she's 71 years old. And now she's entertaining some ideas about helping people her age to solve their issues without drugs.
very, very cool. And of
Yeah.
course, we all know when you lose that kind of weight, your whole life changes, and
Confidence.
and a lot of health issues go
Yeah.
away. So,
That's right.
if you've got a bad habit, you or somebody in your life that they just really want to start the new year off being the best you, get a hold of Jay, Wisconsin Hypnosis. What's the best way to do that?
WisconsinHypnosisCenter.com to go to the website, or you can call us at 920-954-1277.
And we'll put all that information on our website as well. Jay, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you
Good
so
to see
much.
you.
Appreciate it.
I started smoking when I was in college, and I continued into my life after I got out of college. So I finally wanted to stop, and I've tried to quit before numerous times on my own, and it did not work. So I decided to try out hypnosis for it, and that has successfully worked so far. My first session was over a week ago. I had smoked cigarettes all day, came in at nighttime for my session, and after that, I completely stopped smoking. I saw someone smoking a cigarette a few days later, and it kind of shocked me to see someone smoking, and I was pretty much disgusted by it. And now when I smell the smoke, it's very hard to breathe in. It makes me really feel disgusted. That's probably the best way to sum it up. And this has worked so far, which is fantastic. I quit. I didn't have any cravings. I didn't go through any withdrawal symptoms. It's really been probably one of the best things I have decided to do so far.
It was like magic.
So, Todd, what did you come in here for?
To quit smoking.
How'd that go?
Went real well.
Was it easy or hard?
Was hard.
So then what happened?
I don't know. It was like magic.
Well, it really wasn't magic. I mean, it might have felt that way, but you know that it really wasn't. Because you made a choice, right? I mean, you decided to quit. And then you did some simple stuff, and then you notice how you quit, right?
Yeah, it was amazing.
What would you tell somebody who's skeptical, just like you kind of were when you came in? What would you tell them?
Do it.
All right. Hi. So you came in here for a session today, and you talked about coming back from vacation, and you had kind of an interesting experience on vacation. Would you mind sharing that?
Sure. I noticed that when I went to the dessert table, I got a lot of different desserts to try, and I would take one bite and I was like, it's okay. It's not that great. And then I just didn't eat the rest. And I was excited that it was really easy to do it that way.
So is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Does that make getting your goal look even easier than it might have when we originally started?
Yes, it does.
Hey, Justin.
Hi,
So you came in here to quit smoking,
I did.
and you haven't smoked. How long has it been since you smoked last?
It's been a little over 2 weeks.
Okay. And how much did you smoke before that?
It was a pack a day.
For how many years?
24 years.
Wow. So has this been a different experience than you thought?
It was a lot easier. I was very skeptical in the beginning. I didn't think it was going to work.
Right.
Was extremely easy.
Good.
There were still some cravings. But I was given the tools here to fight the cravings, and every day they get less and less, and they're almost gone.
Hi, Virginia. So what did you come here for?
I wanted to lose weight.
Mm-hmm. And how's that going?
It's going very well.
And so where are you at in your goal?
I am almost halfway there.
That's pretty good.
Yes, it is.
And I think you just told me how many pounds?
55.
You're down 55 already. So your halfway point is 60.
Yep.
How does being down 120 look now compared to when we first met?
It looks attainable.
So have you noticed that this was hard or easy when you really look back at it now?
In the beginning, I didn't know if I was going to get through my first session.
Right.
But now it's just becoming commonplace. It's quite easy. It's good to follow.
So are you struggling with choices about food?
Not anymore.
Right.
No.
Are you struggling with, that idea of getting exercise?
Nope. Nope.
So it's like it's just become the way you do things, isn't
Right.
it? So isn't that neat that it's not a compulsion, an obsession, it just is what it is?
Yes.
So the goal looks a lot easier now, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Good. Okay. Anything else you want to add? Anything you think would be good information for somebody who's thinking about this and doesn't have a clue what to expect?
Oh, I think anybody should try it. I've tried everything, and this is the only thing that's worked for me.
I wanted to stop smoking
How'd that work out?
really well.
Would you think it was easy or hard? What would you tell someone?
It was easy.
What do you think made it easy?
Well, it's hard to say. It's going through the steps you taught me and realizing that I'm in control.
Mm-hmm. When you first came in, were you a little skeptical about it or were you
Yes.
wide open? Okay. What would you say to somebody who might have that same skepticism you had when they came in? What would you tell them?
Trust in yourself.
There you go.
Probably the best way to go about it.
That makes sense. So when you look at, I mean, when you think about this, who quit?
I did.
So we just taught you how to do it, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, and the reason I'm making that distinction is a lot of people think hypnosis is like some magic thing.
No, it's something you learn to do.
Yeah. So you learned how to self-hypnotize and then you quit. That makes sense, right?
Yes.
Good. Anything else you want to add to it?
No, I hope. I'm sure it'll be like this for the rest of my life. So
Good. So is it okay if you take that self-hypnosis we started to mess with today and you make it work for anything you want to change?
absolutely.
Good. Okay. Great. Thanks.
My neighbors are very nice to me. And one neighbor brought over a container full of chocolate chip cookies that she just made. And another neighbor lady brought over cheesecake, strawberry cheesecake. And it's one of my favorites. And then my great-granddaughters were supposed to come over. And so I bought mini drumsticks for them. And they didn't show up. And now my poor husband has to eat them because I don't want them.
And so you just told me you didn't eat any of that stuff.
No, not a thing.
So isn't that weird?
I loved it.
Yeah,
Loved
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe I was that strong.
So is it okay that this just continues and you go ahead and get your goal?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So is this kind of weird? Because you didn't know what to expect when you did this. did you?
No, I didn't. And I am so happy. Everything is just going perfect.
Awesome. Awesome. Good.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. And so what's your name?
Dave,
So Dave, what did you come here to do?
quit chewing tobacco.
How'd that go for you?
Absolutely excellent.
So I mean, were you a little skeptical when you came in?
A tad, yeah,
A bit.
a little bit.
And so what would you tell somebody if they were thinking about doing what you came for?
Give it a shot. You're not going to lose.
So you say it was easy, I guess? Is that-
Very,
Really?
very, very easy.
So what'd you have to do? I mean, how many sessions? What'd you do?
I came in for a consultation and we did 2 sessions. And, well, one session I was done.
Yeah.
Second session reinforced it.
Yeah.
I'm still done.
All right, good. Thanks, Dave.
You bet.
I walked into the doctor's office and had to fill out paperwork, and I got to check the box that said non-smoker.
So how many years have you been smoking?
I started daily when I was 16, and I am now 53.
Okay. So 30 years or whatever whatever the math comes out to be. And how much average per day?
About a pack.
Okay. And so would it be okay that you are just done?
Absolutely.
I've tried everything, and this is the only thing that's worked for me.
All of a sudden I started seeing pounds falling off, and that was encouraging. Well, I haven't had to put that much time into it, and I just feel much better.
This was me 10 years ago. Miserable, unhappy with life, overweight, and then I lost 58 pounds using hypnosis, and I've kept it off for 10 years. I look in the mirror and it's like, oh my gosh, look at me, look at me. I can put these clothes on and go face the world, and it feels wonderful.
I needed some help with my goals of weight loss. I've reached halfway to my goal. I still have a little bit farther to go, but it's helping me with motivation and eating right and exercising, kind of reducing the stress in my life.
I started making better food choices, started eating fruits, vegetables, whole grains and meats, cut out sugar, cut out white flour, cut out caffeine, no fake sugars, started eating 3 meals a day.
I went through my closet and I got rid of all of the clothes that had the letter X behind it. Like 1X, 2X. And then I put on some clothes that I had bought a while back. They didn't fit me then, but they fit me now.
I think hypnosis is terrific. I don't know what I would have done without it. I likely would be, 215 pounds. And instead I'm down to almost 120.
This, I felt like I now know that I do have control and that I can make the decisions to eat or exercise or whatever, and I seem to enjoy exercising a lot better too.
That makes me feel different. Makes me realize what I have accomplished, which I was doubting myself there for a while.
I've lost 14 pounds.
I've lost about an inch and a half around the waist. It's easier than any of the drugs or the starvation diets or any of the other stuff. It's just easy.
I've lost about 2 inches around the waist and about 10 pounds. Have a whole different outlook on everything. Everything is great.
I've lost about 14, 15 pounds. All of a sudden I started seeing pounds falling off, and that was encouraging. Well, I haven't had to put that much time into it, and I feel like the money was well worth it. I just feel much better. I just feel I'm doing it. Nothing else worked. This works.
The energy that I have gotten from this, and I know it's from this, I would never just take a walk to take a walk. And now, I can get up in the morning and grab my 2 weights in my hand and go take a walk and love it. Nobody's pushing me to do this. I want to do it.
I have lost 13 pounds in 7 weeks.
My doctor said that I'm really close to being diabetic, and I realize I need to do something. I've lost 30 pounds. I've gone down 2 dress sizes.
And I've lost 20 pounds in 4 months.
I have been coming here for 7 weeks. My first 6 weeks, I've lost 13 pounds and 16 pounds of fat.
It's exactly just like you said. It's just going to happen without thinking, and it's easy. And it is. I've never had an easier time.
3 days ago, my husband opened this huge bag of potato chips. So I just love potato chips. So instead of taking the bag to my chair in the living room and watching TV, I put some in a bowl for the last couple of evenings, put just some in a bowl and just ate those. Didn't eat the whole bag like I used to.
I came thinking that, well, I didn't know what I thought. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But it's just something that gets in your head that just feels right, I think, maybe. I don't want fattening foods. I ate a couple chips the other day and they tasted good, and yet I didn't want any more. It's the strangest feeling.
I have dropped 31 pounds in 12 weeks with hypnosis. I'm a better mom, wife, and employee, and have my confidence back. I recommend hypnosis.
Your last session for quitting smoking, and how much have you smoked since the first session?
None.
None. And how much were you smoking before?
A pack a day.
Pack a day. And for about how many years were you doing that?
57.
Wow. Is it okay that you quit?
Is it okay that I quit?
Yeah,
Yes.
is it okay? All right. Was this a little different than you thought it would be?
Yes.
Was it easier or harder?
Easier.
Okay, good. So anything else you'd like to add?
No.
Good. Okay.
I'm just happy.
Okay, so you just came in here today after how many weeks of not smoking?
In about 5 weeks.
About 5 weeks, okay. And how much were you smoking before?
Around a pack a day.
Okay. And how many years?
40 plus.
Wow, okay. So does it feel okay you have quit smoking?
It feels awesome I quit smoking.
Good. So you mentioned something today about it, some other health stuff you're dealing with. What have you noticed this is doing maybe to help with that?
I'm using the same techniques I learned through the stopping smoking to help me get through my other issue now and adjust to it and embrace it.
Yeah.
To actually move on with my life and make things better.
When you came in, you said something about noticing some things are changing. Would you mind repeating some of that? I'm thinking about the insulin thing in particular, but whatever comes in.
Yeah, I'm taking a lot less insulin. I just feel better. I have more energy. I'm sleeping better. I love it.
So it's okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Are you looking forward to getting all the things you came here for done?
Yes.
Would it be okay that it keeps starting to show up sort of like you're noticing like this aha stuff? Would that be okay?
That'd be perfect.
Hi. So you just came in here after what, 3.5 weeks or so?
Yeah.
Since our last session, since the first session. And so how much have you smoked since then?
Zero.
And you smoked for how many years?
57.
57 years. And you haven't smoked since that first session?
No.
Fabulous. So how did it feel?
Feels great.
Feels pretty good, right?
Yeah, I have control, not the cigarettes anymore.
Good for you. Good for you. So has this been a different experience than you thought?
It's an amazing experience to me.
So do you think it was easy or hard?
Easy.
Wasn't that weird? Because you weren't expecting that, were
No.
you? Right.
No.
So anyway, what would you tell somebody who might be thinking about it and they think hypnosis is weird or...
I would tell them to do it.
Well, you've seen a bunch of folks talking about what they've experienced with hypnosis in the more recent years. To prove that this works, we've been helping people for 40 years. So now you're going to see some older videos of people from over 40 years ago, and you'll notice they say exactly the same thing. This works.
Just really easy. There is no work involved. All of a sudden, one day, you go in, you have a session, they give you this tape, you go home, you listen to the tape, and you're joining a health club. That's all I can say. And you enjoy exercising, you enjoy cutting down on your meals. I mean, it comes to a shock. And I noticed certain things in the beginning. My husband and I go, Ken, it's the tapes making me do this. And we'd sit there and laugh about it. Nobody else would know what we were talking about, but all of a sudden I couldn't eat everything on my plate. I got so excited. I was at an Italian restaurant and I couldn't eat. I ate my salad, my breadsticks, and all of a sudden they brought my lasagna to me and I said, Ken, I can't eat anymore. Give me the cell phone. I'm calling Cynthia, which is your wife, obviously, and tell her I can't eat everything on my plate. I can't even eat my main meal. This is the first time in 45 years I haven't been able to finish everything. And I actually had to take home a doggy bag for me. So I was excited.
Knowing that I've lost the weight and was able to do it, knowing that I'll be able to keep it off, just in general, just gives me a more positive feeling and more confidence as a result of that.
It was extremely easy. I was truly shocked at how easy it was. Like I said, over the years I had tried everything imaginable and had never made it more than like 12 hours at a crack. And this, I sat out in the parking lot the day I was first indoctrinated in the program and must have smoked about 8 cigarettes, just one after the other. And I'm trying to psych myself into it. And I go in, I'm inside maybe an hour, I come outside, and honestly, I was a non-smoker. I had no more urge, I had no more desire. I still have my cigarettes with me, and I truly had no desire. I was amazed, completely amazed, very pleasantly so.
Well, I have a tremendous amount more energy level. I just feel good about myself. And
just life in general. It's more than a weight loss. You get a whole positive attitude change. There's no negatives. Everything is positive.
The most important benefit I received from hypnosis in the Stop Smoking seminar was I was finally able to put away my cigarettes and not want another cigarette. And I know that I will never again be a smoker.
Hi, my name is Courtney Morgan. I am so honored to be able to do this quick little video Jay asked me to do and let you know how it has impacted me, my business, and my family. And what I'll say is that working with Jay, it kind of woke that inner giant within me. Things that used to bother me or I used to get overwhelmed, with some of his techniques that he taught me, even like within a short, I think I only talked to Jay for maybe an hour the first time and 45 minutes the next time. It really made a huge, huge impact on me. My confidence, in the way that I coach and train my people, the relationships I have with my husband and my kids. It really, there's something to be said that we all know who we are, because we have our makeup and we have our, it is how we are programmed. And what I love is that Jay really gets into the programming and reprograms us per se, really to be in that positive light that God knows that we should be. So it absolutely has impacted me dramatically. And my family. And I'm so blessed that I was able to find Jay and to still be able to work with him.
It's nothing easier. I've tried to quit before, and like I said, I don't even want a cigarette. I don't even think about them until somebody brings them up, and then I don't even think about them then. You know what I'm saying? Not to smoke one. You shouldn't do that. Nothing works worse than an ex-smoker.
It's just...
I didn't know much about hypnosis. I kind of had the impression that it was a show. I took what I seen off television and thought it was some magical, if I could be smoking up to 60 cigarettes a day, 3 packs.
Did you notice that you think differently now about cigarettes?
Yes, when I found out, or when I was taught what my mind does, how my mind controls me, how I can fight back, and how I can control it like I'm supposed to, it just clicked, fell into place, and it was just like taking off a coat.
So, Fred, did you find that the process was easy or hard?
It was very easy. Well, I would recommend hypnosis.
It's amazing because your eating habits totally change. You don't go back to the old cravings and wanting all the things that got you overweight in the first place. You just have no desire for them. Mm-hmm. And your eating is so much healthier and you just feel so much better. Yeah, losing weight, because that was real borderline on the Navy standards. And if I would have been out of standards, as they call it, they would have kind of really been out of sorts with me, and it's avoided a lot of hassles that way. I got hypnotized and I didn't think it had worked. I just, when I left, I was thinking, well, I don't think it worked because I didn't go to sleep or anything like that. And I got to my car and the pack of cigarette was always on my console, because that's the first thing I did when I got into a car was light a cigarette. And I just looked at the pack of cigarette and stuck it in my purse. Drove home, took about half an hour to get home, and took them out and just threw them to my daughter. I said, I don't want them anymore. And that was it. I never even thought about it. Mm-hmm. So it was just, I guess it is working. And it's surprising.
Crystal Judah, pack a day. 11 years. Because when I used to smoke, it was, you go outside and you take puffs and you're not smelling that fresh air.
Oh.
You're smoking and it's yucky and now I'm smoke free and
Burning this.
oh,
Yeah.
and I got a breath of fresh air. It was great. I feel better about myself. I have more time to do things. I feel healthier. I don't stink anymore. I don't have to depend on that, and I don't need to have something control me. And I can just be free and do everything I used to do before, but more. And it's great. It's a great feeling. I would most definitely recommend it because it's very powerful. You're gonna have to, want to stop smoking, and if you feel like you're ready and you want to, this will be a piece of cake. It was great.
I mean, I'm a guy that never ate breakfast. If I ate lunch, it was a Whopper with cheese and supersize it. I did that a couple times a week. And I'd get home from work and I'd eat from 6 o'clock till midnight, constantly. I was probably eating 8,000 calories a day, and most of it not good. I'm eating 3 meals a day now. And, this is something I didn't think I could do. At 50 years old, to change and switch into a three meal a day lifestyle, that was a different step. But I found very quickly that I could do it. And I'm not hungry. I'm not snacking between meals. I don't eat after supper, and I'm not going to bed starved. I feel good about it.
I'm very satisfied with my results. The results have been, really have exceeded my expectations, but now it's almost like I'm on a roller coaster going really fast, and I know I'm not done with my weight loss, and it's just happening, almost like an involuntary response. I knew that I wanted to do something, and I didn't know what, and I'd heard about hypnosis. I tried the patch. I tried the gum. I tried just putting them down. I tried everything. I would get so bad, I would climb the walls. I'd make my family miserable. I mean, so bad they would go out and buy me a cigarette. So, Mama, please smoke or we're going to kill you. You're driving us nuts. And I said, I've got to do something. My mother died of emphysema when she was 57. I'm 47. And my chest was starting to hurt. Nothing was working. I could smoke a cigarette, chew the gum, and wear the patch at the same time. And I said, I've got to do something. So she looked in the phone book. She found it. She made the appointment for me. She and my husband, they thought they were being sneaky. And they all went with me for my evaluation. And I was scared to death. Totally and completely terrified. And after talking to Karen, I was fine. I went in and I had no problems. I was a little nervous the first time with Ross. And after that, it's the best thing in the world. It's so relaxing. It's fantastic. You go in and you say, okay. This is the best part of my day.
It was almost a no-brainer. I mean, there wasn't any effort required whatsoever, really. I went to that first session, and I went home, and I think I still have a can or two of Skull lying around the house someplace that every once in a while I see, and I say, well, I got to throw that away. But even when I see it, there's no desire for it. And I have friends who chew around me at work, and there's no desire. There was no effort required at all.
It was very easy. The first week I lost 7 pounds, and right after my first visit, I did not have any more soft drinks. That night when I went home for dinner, my husband wanted pizza. So I called and ordered a pizza, and I didn't realize until it got there that I'd ordered a vegetable pizza instead of a meat lovers. And then he goes to sit down to eat, and he looks at me and he's like, did they send us the wrong pizza or what? And I just sit there and I giggle and I just sit there and I start eating. And then after I've only eaten 2 pieces instead of where usually I would eat like 4 or 5 pieces. And he said, well, you're not eating very much. And I said, well, that's all I want. And he's like, well, what happened to you? You need to call and tell them that they brought us the wrong pizza. And I said, Ray, I ordered vegetable instead of meat lover. And he said, well, that's fine, but next time I you order it kind of half and half. But things happen like that, and you don't really, notice it until you've done it. And a lot of times you'll do things, and after you've done it, you just sit there and giggle, and people look at you like, what's her problem? She's sitting there by herself, and she's giggling, but you've done something that you've never done before, and you're sitting there wondering, well, why did I do that?
First time I gave up, I had stopped for about 10 days straight. I mean, I've had some of the guys I work with on the Samson, the crane that I work on, they got an old pack of my cigars that I had, and they stood in a semicircle smoking, blowing it in my face. It didn't bother me at all. It was amazing. And then, well, you have to know construction workers. They didn't believe me because I had said I quit so many times where I was going to quit, so they were kind of tempting me, and it didn't bother me at all. Well, it's done a lot. It's done a lot, actually. I think the biggest thing I noticed from the get-go was the release of stress. What I was finding difficult is, I would go to work, and I was working so much that all I could think about was being, what I want to do with my daughter, what I want to do when I have a JC chapter meeting tonight or whatever, or when I'm doing those functions, I would think about what I should have been doing at work. It's really put things in perspective for me. So from the get-go, my stress level went down. So my anxiety went down. I was able to concentrate more at work. And when I was not at work, I was able to do the things that I wanted to do and enjoy it and not feel guilty. That was a big one for me.
I realized that I wasn't, first of all, I began cutting out the things that weren't good for me, which cut out a lot of the cravings because of the chemicals and stuff in those foods. And it did. And it happened in a way that I didn't even realize or even think that I didn't even know that it was happening. It's something you look back and you go, I didn't eat my whole plate that day. I didn't eat everything that was on my plate. Or just going through a day or most of the day or totally forgetting about breakfast or having an apple and feeling good till 4 or 5 o'clock. It just happens so easily that it's surprising. You look back at the end of the day and go, gee, I only ate once today or something like that. So yeah, it does happen easily and effortlessly.
I have more energy. I've never had this much energy in my life, and I want to do things, and I definitely started exercising. I used to hate the word gym. My daughter has had my first grandson, and she told me she was going to name him James, and I said, don't expect me to ever call him Jim because I hate the word gym, meaning G-Y-M. And to this day, I still call James, and I join a gym, and I enjoy it. I look forward to it. In fact, some days when I can't go to the gym, I really feel like I'm neglecting myself or I'm missing something out of life.
I feel better. I know it was the right thing to do. You read so much about it, it's bad for you. So I know it was the right thing to do. I feel better. I'm more healthy. I know that. I smell good. My things smell good. My husband likes it because he's never been a smoker. So he's happy that I no longer do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
People that care about me are happy that I don't do it.
The fact that when I want to go someplace or when I would sit down on the couch, it used to be once I got to the couch or once I got to my chair, that was the end of the night. Now I'm going to sit down on the couch or the chair and sit there for 10 minutes and watch TV, and it's like, no, I've got to go do something. There's always something going on. It seems like my mind's a little bit better. My memory's a little bit better now. I don't know if that's just from reading other stuff or it's because of the food that I'm eating or what that is. It used to be somebody would tell me something and I'd forget about it tomorrow, and now it's, they say something. I said, yeah, you told me about that yesterday. I remember that.
Tremendous amount of confidence. Mm-hmm. Listening to the tapes has helped.
Because I have the tapes at home, I'm able to listen to them when I want. And if I feel stress at that moment, I can just go sit down and listen to the tape. And I feel much better after that. Feel refreshed. After I attended the seminar, it was very easy. It was no longer a struggle. I didn't even want another cigarette. So it was the easiest thing I've ever done.
Okay.
I went for the interview, and evidently I was a good candidate. And I signed up, took my first personal session with Rob. And the day that I left from there, after my session, I got in my truck. I drove home, and I could not believe it. I had not thought about a cigarette. And I haven't had one since. And I don't mind being around people that smoke, because that was one of my requests to please, fix it so that I could be around my friends that smoke.
Yeah, I think they have really been fantastic bunch of people. They've done everything they said they would do, and if I felt like there was something they hadn't done that they should do, if I went back up there, I'm sure they would take care of it.
Mm-hmm. I really didn't have any problem. The first night, it was really funny. When I went home, I loved to snack, and I didn't need to because I really wasn't hungry, but I did it, and I had those habits. So the first night I went home and fixed dinner, my husband and I ate, and the night went on. I went on to got ready to go to bed, and I asked him, I said, did you notice? I said, Danny, I didn't snack. He said, yeah. I was afraid to say anything because I was afraid it would break the trance.
Well, I feel like that at my age, I'll be 46 my birthday, and I feel like the second half of my life, the next half of my life is going to be better because I don't have the extra baggage of all that extra weight. I'm not so physically uncomfortable. Socially, before I would always look for excuses not to go places. I would spend a lot of time in my room. And now I go out a lot more. I do a lot of things. And my daughter said the other day, she said, Mom, you've got more of a social life than I do. So it's completely changed my outlook.
Probably the most important thing I accomplished through hypnosis is a positive mental attitude and a well-being, a positive mental attitude about myself and my job and things I do on my job. Like I said, I'm an automobile salesperson, and to be an automobile salesperson, you must make the customer feel relaxed in doing business with you, and that starts with a smile and a positive mental attitude, and I think that has helped me present that to the customer.
Mm-hmm. It took away the cravings for a cigarette, the desire. I've never wanted another cigarette.
I don't eat between meals anymore. When I eat, I've never really been a big sweet eater, but if I'm gonna have any kind of dessert, a lot of people will eat dessert and 2 or 3 hours later they'll go and they'll get a little piece of cake or a little piece of brownie or something. And just going through the nutrition classes, that Michael does, that helps you too, where if you want it, you eat it. And if I want it, I do eat it. But you just notice after a while that you change the way you want to eat. Instead of in the morning, instead of going to McDonald's and getting a greasy biscuit, you want a banana, or you want an apple, or you want an orange, or you want, something like that. You don't want to go and get a greasy biscuit. As a matter of fact, I've been to get my husband a biscuit from Hardee's and could actually almost get sick from the smell. It just smelled greasy, the smell of it, and you just like, how can you eat it? You feel like you can just feel the grease in your mouth just from smelling it. It's just, I don't know how to explain, how it begins to work or anything, but you don't get hungry